Alright, so let's start with the default cube. Let's add a plane, scale it a bit, and select the cube and press Ctrl period, G and middle mouse drag, Ctrl select to snap it to the bottom, Ctrl period again and G drag and snap it on the top of the plane. Now just select it and scale it in the Z direction, so SZ. Now Ctrl A and apply the scale. Go to edit mode and add an edge loop somewhere around here and just scale it a bit and scale the top. Yep, great. Now we'll just bisect it. So A to select all the faces and also press Alt Z to activate the X-ray mode. Now just select the bisect and start cutting it. So select and drag, and in the bisect option select fill, and the arrow side is the outer side and the opposite one is the inner side, so select clear inner and it fills it. Now repeat this to create the shape. So again A to select all and just drag, fill and clear outer. Alright, so now let's create the UVs for it. So select it, tab, and select one of the edge loop. So I'll start it from here. Shift select the edges, this one, and to unwrap it I'll just add this one and this one. So this face unwraps from here and it goes all the way down to bottom, Alt Z, and the bottom face I'll select all the corner edges except one. So this one, this one, this one and this one. So this will be the seam and it will unwrap along this edge. So with all these edges selected, press U and select mark seam. Great. Now A to select all and press U and select unwrap. To see the UV that we just created, go to UV editing and here you can see. Okay, so now I'll sculpt this, and to do that I'm going to first create a duplicate copy. So Shift D and just move the previous one onto this side. So this one is going to be the low poly copy and this one is the high poly for the sculpting. So select this F2 and rename it to low poly, and this one F2 rename it to high poly. Great. Now I'll just hide the low poly one. I'll just select the high poly one and subdivide it. So go to the modifier and add subd modifier and click the simple. We want this to be simple, and just add subdivision levels as much as possible. So maybe 6. Let's see. Yes, this looks enough. Maybe one more. So again sub D and apply. Great. Now this is ready for sculpting. So I'll just select it and shade smooth. Great. Now go to sculpting, and I'm going to use the orb brushes. You can find these brushes here on blend swap. So these are the brushes for sculpting the rock and cracks, and these are free to use. So download this Blender file, and to use them just go to file, append, locate the downloaded file, like this one is the file, select it and go to brushes, and all the brushes that have orb, these are the ones that we use. So shift select these and just append. So now when you click on this, you can see these brushes here. So all these brushes are added to their respective default brushes. Like some brushes are here and some are in the scrape one. So if you see, two are here and some are in the clay. Alright, so let's select the scrape, and in here select this flatten brush, and first of all start flattening the corners. Use a combination of a bigger brush and a smaller brush, and just flatten the corners. I am using the XP pen, so I am using this pressure on. However, you can use the mouse as well. Alright, so now I'll just select this orb rock brush, and with a extremely low strength just sculpt over it. It will add micro details of the rock, and to see it better you can turn on the cavity in here, so you can see. Just sculpt with this on the flat faces, so it adds a micro detail. Alright, so now select this clay strip brush, and in here you can see these cracks. So now select this one and start adding some cracks. You may need to increase the strength a bit So let me increase it to about 0.7 and just select and drag. So in this way you can add the cracks and add some variations, some smaller ones and some bigger ones. And you can drag one on top of another to just increase the depth. Alright, so now we have our low poly and high poly ready. So now just select this one and go to object and snap selection to cursor. So now the low poly sits on top of the high poly. Now we'll just create the material for it. So select the low poly one, click new, go to shading, and in here just add an image texture, shift A, click new. This is going to be our normal map and let's make it 2K, click OK, and I'm going to create a normal map node. Select this color space to non-color and just plug it into the principled BSDF. Great. So first of all I am going to bake the normal from high poly to low poly, and to do that you need to go to cycles, select the high poly and then shift select the low poly, and in the node editor select the normal map, go to bake, in bake type select normal and check this selected to active, and in here keep this extrusion to about 0.7 and click bake. So here you can see our normal map is baked, and if I hide the high poly one and let's go to EV and select the rendered, you can see this is our low poly map and all the details are baked onto it. Alright, so now you should go to image and save this image, otherwise you may lose this. Now let's create the material, rest of the material. So shift A and I'll add RGB node, select the color darker yellow, duplicate it and make this even more dark, and I'm going to mix these. So Control Shift right click drag, and the factor will be a noise texture. So select noise, select the detail to be about 13, also the scale and and the roughness to be about 0.75. This is going to be the factor. To check this, control click on this and you can see. So I'll just plug it into the base color, decrease the specular and increase the roughness. And now I'll just duplicate these and add another texture over it, that is going to be my grass. So this color will be green and this a dark green. Great. Now again control shift drag, right click, and to control the mask of this grass, I'll select another image texture. Let's call it grass mask and click OK. So this color is going to be the mixing factor, and let's put it here and press Ctrl T so it is connected with the UV mapping. Just reverse the colors so the grass is masked. Great. Now I'll just select this grass mask and go to texture painting. So wherever it is black, for now it is completely black, so all the grass is masked. You can select this viewport shading, and in the brush setting go to texture mask, create new, go to settings, select clouds and type to be hard, and again come to the brush setting, and in here select the mask mapping to random. Now just start revealing the grass by painting over it. So start painting and you can see it reveals the grass. Alright, so now to add a bit of stylized glow, I'll just add a cut on this face. So just go to edit mode and I'll use the knife tool for it. So just divide this face into two so that we get a starting point. So I'll start from here and just create the shape like this, and just double this edge like this, and now I'm going to add another edge in the middle of this. So again just fill these corners like this. So that we have an edge to click on. So now I'll start it from here. So click in the middle like this one, here, and in here. Great. Now I'll just select this middle edge. So alt click this middle edge, press 1 for the vertices, and deselect the end vertices. So control drag this one and this one, and now I'll just pull these vertices down. So just G and pull these down. So it creates this crack. Great. Now let's check the rendered version. So because we have created this n-gon, it gives this type of weird shading artifact. So to remove this, you can just again select the knife tool and subdivide these edges like this. And this is a bigger n-gon as well, so we'll just cut this here and one from here. Great. So now this looks fine. Alright, so now just to keep things a little bit easy, I am going to create a separate material for the glow effect for this cut. So just select it, create a new material slot, click new, and in this go to shading, and in slot 2 just search for emission and delete this principled BSDF and plug the emission to surface. Now select the mesh, go to edit mode, press 3 to select the faces, alt click to select the loop, and shift select the rest of the faces. Now keep these faces selected and go to material, click on the second material and press assign. And now you can change the color as you want. So for example, darker blue color, and increase the emission strength. To see this effect better, go to EV settings and apply boom. So now you can see, if I increase the strength too much, you can see it glows. Alright, so here I have put together a simple scene with these rocks. So these are just 2 rocks, and all these smaller ones are the variations in scale, rotation and position. So this is how you can create low poly rocks using the normal map strategy, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.